I had a fling with the younger guy back in the day. Once I had him hooked, I dumped him. Later he became a billionaire CEO. He tracked me down when I was broke, and he married me. Everyone thought I had struck gold. They did not know he brought a different woman home every night. I did not cry, I did not make a scene, but it drove him wild. He retaliated by getting his mistress, Serena, pregnant. I stayed calm, cool as ice. He slammed me against the wall. "Chloe, do you even love me?" he demanded. Not long after, Serena and I broke our waters at the same time. I fell to my knees, telling him I loved him, begging him to take me to the hospital. He hugged me tight, a cruel smile on his face. "I knew it," he crowed. "You liar." I spat. He shoved me hard, then scooped Serena up and walked out without looking back. "I'll send you to the hospital later. The pain of childbirth is your punishment," he called as he left. All I could see was his retreating back as he rushed away. My lower abdomen burned, like every drop of strength had been drained from me. I collapsed to the floor. Amniotic fluid gushed out, soaking my thighs and leaving a wet stain on the ground. Weakly, I raised a hand and called to a maid, my voice hoarse. "Please, take me to the hospital." The maid hesitated, torn. "Mrs. Miller, Liam said we must wait for him to return. I would not dare." "You would not dare?" I clutched my belly, my voice trembling. "If anything happens to me or the baby, Liam will never forgive you. Take me now." Terrified, she scrambled to her feet and ran, but Liam's personal assistant, David, blocked her path. "David, Mrs. Miller is in labor. She needs to go to the hospital," the maid stammered. David glanced at the fluid on the floor, then at my contorted face, his tone measured. "Mr. Miller said to wait for him. Mrs. Miller is using her pregnancy to manipulate us again. Help her back to her room to rest. If we delay any longer, the baby will be gone. Will you take the blame?" I yelled, pushing myself up and pointing a trembling finger at him. David offered a polite, empty smile. "Mr. Miller is with Miss Serena at the hospital, making sure her baby is safe. He said to wait for him to return. You know Liam's temper, no one dares cross him. I'm in labor, the baby can't wait." Agonizing contractions sliced through me, like a knife twisting inside my abdomen. Cold sweat soaked my clothes. "What are you waiting for? Help Mrs. Miller to bed, now," David snapped. Two maids rushed forward, roughly grabbing my arms and dragging me toward the bedroom. At that moment a warm, sticky gush of blood spilled out. "Blood, I'm bleeding." I grabbed a maid's hand and screamed, "Take me to the hospital now, or the baby will be in danger." "Mrs. Miller, I can't make that decision. I'll call the family doctor first," the maid said, pulling away, guilt written on her face. The pain felt like a knife carving into bone. Cold sweat, mixed with blood and amniotic fluid, soaked the velvet blanket. Time crawled by, and no one came. I dragged myself to the bed's edge and grabbed Martha by the hem of her uniform, crying, "Martha, please go check. I can't hold on." Martha nodded, sympathetic. "I'll hurry them up now," but David blocked her. He walked slowly toward me, his gaze flicking over the blood-stained blanket, hesitation flashing briefly before being replaced by cold indifference. "Let Dr. Miller take a look first." Dr. Miller rushed in with his bag. Several maids pinned my struggling limbs. "Let go of me. I need the hospital." I twisted and wept. Dr. Miller examined me, expressionless, then took out a handful of white pills and told Martha to give them to me. "What's that?" I demanded. "It's medication to delay labor. The contractions will lessen," Dr. Miller said. "No, I won't take it. That will deprive the baby of oxygen." "Dr. Miller, your wife is also about to give birth, isn't she? Would you make her take this? Aren't you afraid of karma?" I cried, enduring the pain, looking at David. "If anything happens to me and the baby, you will be the murderer. Liam will not let you get away with it." Dr. Miller and David exchanged a look. Just then David's phone rang. It was Liam. After the call, David's tone changed. "Mr. Miller said to absolutely wait for him to return. I truly don't have the authority to decide." He gave Martha a meaningful look. Two maids held my shoulders and forced open my mouth, while Martha popped the pills in. I vomited, but the pills slid down. Tears streamed as I looked at the ceiling and burst into hysterical laughter. "This is excellent. Remember this day. If anything happens to my baby, I will become a vengeful spirit and drag you all down to hell with me." I screamed. "Mrs. Miller is unstable. Give her a sedative. Don't let her hurt herself or the baby, Martha. Keep an eye on her," David ordered. He frowned, then left after talking with Dr. Miller and Martha. I stopped resisting, letting a thick needle pierce my arm. In Liam's heart, his mistress mattered more than his own flesh and blood. To save Serena's baby, he would let our child struggle on the edge of death. The despair crushed me, along with regret for marrying him. I had thought if I was good enough, he would see it. For a moment, I had believed he loved me. Now I knew, if someone does not love you, nothing you do will make them, not even carrying their child. I caressed my swollen belly, blood and amniotic fluid soaking the bed. I closed my eyes, tears wetting my face. Liam Miller, if anything happens to my child, I will never let you go, I whispered. Paraphrased version for originality, keeps plot, changes phrasing and structure. Years ago, I toyed with a younger man, hooked him, then walked away. He rose to become a billionaire CEO, found me when my luck had run out, and married me. Everyone assumed I had hit the jackpot. They could not see what happened behind closed doors, the rotating parade of women who arrived at night. I kept my composure. I did not beg or cry, and that unnerved him. His answer was to make his mistress, Serena, pregnant. I stayed icy calm. He shoved me against the wall. Chloe, do you really love me? He barked. Not long after, both Serena and I went into labor. I sank to my knees, begging him, telling him I loved him, pleading to be taken to the hospital. He hugged me tightly, but the smile on his face was vicious. I knew it, he sneered. You liar. I shot back. He shoved me aside, lifted Serena in his arms, and left without glancing back. I'll get you to the hospital later. Childbirth will be your punishment, he yelled as he fled. All that remained was the sight of his back as he hurried away. Pain seared through my lower belly until I fell to the floor. A warm rush soaked my thighs, amniotic fluid spreading across the floor. With a weak voice I reached for help. Please, take me to the hospital. The maid recoiled, caught between fear and duty. Mrs. Miller, Mr. Miller ordered us to wait for him. I cannot. You cannot. I cried, clutching my stomach. If anything happens to me or this child, Liam will never forgive you. Take me now. She ran for help, but David, Liam's assistant, intercepted her. David, she is in labor. Send her to the hospital, the maid gasped. He surveyed the mess, then spoke coolly. Mr. Miller said wait. Mrs. Miller is manipulating us. If we wait any longer, the baby will die. Will you accept that? I screamed, pushing myself upright, pointing at him. David's smile was polite and empty. Mr. Miller is at the hospital with Miss Serena. He told us to wait for him. You know how he is, no one dares disobey. The baby cannot wait. I am in labor. Agonizing waves of pain twisted through me, cold sweat soaking my clothes. David barked, help Mrs. Miller to bed now. Two maids hauled me toward the bedroom. Then blood flooded out, a new, horrific urgency. Blood. I am bleeding. I screamed, gripping a maid's hand. Take me now. I can't decide that, I'll call the family doctor first, she said, shrinking away. Pain carved through me like a blade. Sweat, blood, and fluids stained the bedding. Time passed. I dragged myself to the bed's edge and clutched Martha's uniform, begging, Martha, please hurry, I cannot hold on. She promised to hurry, but David stepped between us, his face unreadable. Let the doctor check first. Dr. Miller entered, and several maids pinned me down. I begged for the hospital, but he produced white pills and told Martha to give them to me. What is that? I cried. Medication to postpone labor, it will calm the contractions, he said, indifferent. No, that will starve the baby of oxygen. Would you force your own wife to take it? I shouted, enduring the pain. If anything happens to my child, it will be on your conscience, David. David's phone vibrated. Liam on the line. After the call, his expression shifted. Mr. Miller insists we wait for him. I have no authority to decide. He signaled to Martha. Two maids pried my mouth open, forcing the pills down. I gagged, tears slipping as I laughed hysterically at the cruelty of it all. Remember this day. If my baby dies, I will haunt you all, I threatened. Mrs. Miller is unstable. Sedate her, David ordered, then left after speaking with the doctor. I let them give me the injection. He had chosen Serena over his own wife, chosen to save the other woman's child. That realization was as sharp as the despair crushing me. I regretted trusting marriage to save me. I had hoped being better, kinder, would make him love me. I was wrong. Love does not always reciprocate. I cupped the curve of my belly, the bed soaked through. I closed my eyes, tears falling. Liam Miller, if anything happens to this child, I will never forgive you. I vowed. The medication must have started working, because the stabbing contractions slowly dulled. But the bleeding did not stop. I lay on the bed, drained of strength. Somewhere through the haze, I heard Martha's voice calling Mr. Miller. Hope flared in my chest. Maybe he had finally come to his senses. Maybe he was sending me to the hospital after all. Maybe he still cared about me, about our baby. Gathering what little energy I had left, I cried into the phone. Liam, please. Tell someone to drive me to the hospital. The baby won't make it if we wait any longer. The phone was on speaker. But instead of Liam's voice, Serena's sweet, smug tone filled the room. Chloe, you must be strong, she cooed. Liam's still here with me. He can't think about you right now. She paused, her tone turning falsely gentle. Martha, take good care of Mrs. Miller. Make sure she does exactly as Liam ordered. Serena, let Liam talk to me, I shouted, but someone clamped a hand over my mouth, muffling my words. Martha smiled nervously into the phone. Don't worry, Miss Serena. We've already given her the medication. Mr. Miller's orders will be followed. That's good, Serena said, her voice now edged with wicked satisfaction. If she's still in pain, I know a method that will help her endure until Liam returns. Martha hesitated. What method? I froze, listening. Serena's voice dropped into something darker. Hang her upside down, head down, feet up. After a few minutes, the baby will retreat. Then tie a rope tightly under her belly. That should hold things for a while. If that still doesn't work, she laughed softly. Then stitch her up. Whatever happens, she must wait until Liam comes back. I shook my head violently, the sound coming out as muffled sobs beneath the maid's hand. Martha went pale. Miss Serena, isn't that too cruel? Something could go wrong. How could it? Serena scoffed. Where I'm from, people do this to time a child's birth. Babies are tougher than you think. Then she said the one thing that shattered what was left of me. Liam is right beside me, and this was his idea. He told me to call. He said it's time to teach Chloe a lesson for her jealousy. Protect my baby first, no matter what. If anything happens to me, he'll make you all pay. Ignoring the pain tearing through me, I tore free from the maids and screamed, You're lying. Liam would never do this. Martha, don't listen to her. The maids forced me back down, pinning me to the bed. Tears poured down my face. Martha, you're a mother too. How can you be so heartless? Martha trembled, sweat dripping from her forehead, the phone shaking in her grasp. Serena's voice hissed one last warning. Liam's planning to divorce her soon. Think carefully, who matters more, me or her? Then the line went dead. Silence filled the room. Finally, Martha spoke, her voice thin. Let go of Mrs. Miller. Hope flooded through me. I thought she had changed her mind. Martha, please take me to the hospital. There's still time. But she turned away, refusing to meet my eyes. Bring the ropes, she said coldly. Martha, no please. I begged, horror tightening my throat.
She didn't respond.
Two maids seized my wrists and ankles, tying me down. The coarse rope bit deep into my skin, drawing blood. This is for your own good, Mrs. Miller, Martha said stiffly. Please, just bear with it. Then she shouted. Bring the frame. For my own good? I choked, tears spilling uncontrollably. Don't believe Serena. Liam swore he'd never hurt me. But no one listened. They dragged me across the floor, a dark trail of blood marking our path. The pain was unbearable. The baby inside me kicked frantically, as if sensing the danger. Then they hoisted me upside down on the metal frame. My head throbbed, the room spinning as black spots danced before my eyes. The pressure in my chest grew unbearable. My hair stuck to my sweaty forehead as tears streamed upward. The world turned on its head. Liam, please, I cried hoarsely. Come back and see me. Are you really this cruel? Liam, I can't hold on. Our baby, please. As everything dimmed, I thought I saw him. He was walking toward me, smiling softly, just as he used to. He kissed my forehead, his voice tender and warm. Chloe, I'll protect you and our child. Don't cry. I'd give up everything for you, even my life. I reached out for him, my hand trembling, but my fingers closed on empty air. The rope cutting into my lower belly yanked me back to awareness, pain ripping me fully awake. A maid hauled me down from the metal frame, my back crashing onto the floor like it would break. The rope still bit into my skin, making each contraction feel like something inside me was being crushed. The tighter I curled, the deeper it dug. A new, tearing pain shot up from below. My hand shook as I called for Martha. Quick, I'm really giving birth. Jenny, a maid who had just come in, gasped and screamed, Martha, the baby's crowning. Get her to the hospital, now. Martha went pale, but she only spun in confusion for a heartbeat. I stared at her, every part of me aching. Please, any later, and the baby will be gone. Then her face went cold. Get a needle and thread, sew up her lower body first. No. Jenny threw herself toward me, arms out to shield me. You'll kill them both if you do that. You'll have to step over me first. Do you dare defy Mr. Miller's orders? Martha snapped. There's so much blood. Jenny choked. How can you be so cruel? If we displease Mr. Miller and Miss Serena, we might as well hang ourselves, another maid whispered. Two women grabbed Jenny, dragging her toward the frame. Someone slapped tape over her mouth. She struggled, hit by the frame, and then went still, curled on the floor, convulsing until she did not move. I screamed through the pain. Let her go, you monsters. I hope you all rot. They forced tape over my mouth. Then Martha lifted my dress and drove the long needle into my flesh. The sting was instantaneous and raw, like a blade carving me open. I shook, tears and cold sweat mingling on my face. The maids pinned my limbs, so I could not move an inch. Cosmetic stitch. It will not scar much, Martha said without expression, pushing the needle deeper. No anesthetic is better for you. Childbirth is worse. We will send you to the hospital when Mr. Miller returns. I closed my eyes, exhausted, and stopped fighting. Then the door was thrown open. What are you doing? Stop. Sarah's voice, fierce and sharp, cut through the room. The air froze. The maids let go of me and lowered their heads. Martha stood motionless, blood on her hands, her uniform smeared. Sarah stared at the bruises on my belly, the blood-soaked bed, and the half-finished stitches, and she staggered, clutching the doorframe. Through the bloody mess, a tuft of the baby's hair showed. Her voice shook. Who gave you the right? How could you be so wicked? Mr. Miller said to wait for him. Martha tried to explain, but Sarah slapped her hard, the sound cruel, blood at the corner of Martha's mouth. That wretched woman again, Sarah said, trembling with rage. I do not have a cold-blooded brother. No Miller would do this to his wife or his child. She is Mrs. Miller. How dare you treat her this way? If anything happens, I will make you pay. Get her to the hospital, now. They scrambled to cut the ropes. The second they loosened, relief flooded my abdomen, but more blood poured out. Pain ripped through me, sharper still. Sarah crouched beside the bed, her hands trembling, eyes red. Chloe, I am so sorry I am late. You have suffered too much. Hold on, please don't give up. I tried to reach for her, but my vision blurred and went dark. Someone screamed nearby. So much blood. The baby's head. I can see it. Sarah shouted at Martha, pointing her blood-streaked hand. What are you waiting for? Call an ambulance now. Paraphrased version for originality. The rope at my midsection pulled me back into awareness with a fresh, burning pain. A maid yanked me off the frame, and my back slammed down onto the floor, the impact jarring my whole body. The bindings at my belly dug in, and every contraction felt like it was crushing something vital. The tighter I curled, the more the cord chewed at me. A new, sharp pain erupted from below. I waved feebly at Martha, lips trembling. I'm crowning, please now. Jenny, who had just come in, let out a choking cry. Martha, she's crowning. Take her to the hospital, quickly. Martha's face drained of color, but instead of helping, she froze. If we wait, the baby will be gone, I begged. Then she turned, her eyes hard. Fetch a needle and thread. We will sew her up first. No. Jenny lunged forward, spreading herself between me and the others. You can't do that. You'll kill them both. You'll have to go through me. Are you defying Mr. Miller? Martha snapped. There is too much blood, Jenny sobbed. Think of Mr. Miller and Miss Serena, another maid whispered, terrified. If we anger them, none of us will be safe. Two maids seized Jenny and dragged her off. They taped her mouth. The frame struck her and she collapsed, convulsing until she lay still. I howled. Let her go, you monsters. May you all pay for this. They taped me, silencing the words. Martha took the needle, lifted my dress, and thrust it into my flesh. The pain was blinding, a white-hot scream that radiated through me. Hands held me down until I could not even twitch. "It's only a cosmetic stitch, it won't scar," Martha said, voice flat, pushing the needle on. "No anesthetic. Childbirth is worse. Mr. Miller will be furious if we disobey. Once he returns, you'll be taken to the hospital." I gave up, spent, and stopped fighting. Then the door flew open. "What is happening in here? Stop this at once." Sarah's voice cut through the room like a knife. Everything froze. The maids released me and hung their heads. Martha stood with blood on her hands, pale and stunned. Sarah took in my bruises, the blood-streaked bedding, and the crude stitches. She stumbled, clutched the doorframe, and cried out, "How dare you? Who gave you permission to do this?" "Mr. Miller said to wait for him." Martha started, but Sarah struck her hard, drawing blood from Martha's lip. "That woman is behind this," Sarah said, shaking with fury. "I will not stand for it. No Miller would harm his wife or child. Bring her to the hospital, now, or I will see you punished." They hurried to cut the ropes. The second my restraints loosened, a small, blessed relief spread through my abdomen, immediately followed by fresh, heavy bleeding. The pain returned with a vengeance. Sarah sank beside me, voice breaking. "Chloe, I am so sorry. You must hold on. Do not give up." My vision blurred. Voices and movement became distant. A maid screamed, "There is so much blood. I see the baby's head." Sarah barked orders, pointing at Martha. "What are you waiting for? Call an ambulance right now." In the VIP room, Serena lay pale on the hospital bed. Liam sat beside her, carefully cooling the porridge and feeding her spoon by spoon. His eyes were full of concern, glancing down at her belly as if listening for the baby's movements. "Liam," Serena whispered, her voice weak, eyes glistening. "Thank you. I don't know what I would have done without you. I might have." "Don't say that," he cut in gently, pressing a hand over her lips. "I would never let anything happen to you or the baby. You've suffered enough already." Serena clutched his hand, tears falling onto his skin. "Once the baby is born, you'll be his father. I only have the two of you." She paused, lips trembling, eyes reddening. "But will Chloe blame me? I never meant harm. If she blames me, I wouldn't know how to face it." "Silly girl," Liam murmured, ruffling her hair. "Just rest. Focus on your pregnancy. Nothing else matters." A faint, satisfied smile crossed Serena's face, but she spoke hesitantly again. "But Chloe has such a fiery temper. I worry she'll—" Liam's eye twitched, a sudden sting hitting his chest. He rubbed his brow but spoke evenly. "She's just jealous. Her due date isn't close yet. It's a lesson in patience. She'll learn. The Miller family needs a proper wife, someone reasonable." Chloe, spoiled but from a good family, had once captured his heart. But Serena had risked herself for him. Now she suffered. How could he leave her in pain? Once this baby arrived, he would ensure Chloe was cared for, fully compensated for everything. He straightened, his tone softening as he reassured Serena. "Rest now. I'll check on her at home, then return." "Liam," Serena clutched his sleeve, voice trembling. "The doctor said the baby is still in danger. Please hurry back. I'm scared." "I will," he whispered, gently freeing her hand, then left quickly. As he drove, his mind raced. Once the baby was born, Chloe would have the finest postnatal care, the best nannies, the best everything. She would be protected no matter what. At a traffic light, a screaming ambulance tore past him, sirens blasting. A fleeting image of Sarah's anxious figure flashed in his mind. A terrible thought surged. Could it be? No. Chloe must still be at home. He had called David earlier, and nothing unusual was reported. Liam's grip on the steering wheel tightened. He had to see her immediately. If anything had happened, he could rush her to the hospital himself. He dialed Chloe's number, but only the cold, mechanical voice of no answer came back. Panic clawed at him. He called Sarah instead. "Liam Miller, you animal. That wretched woman. I'll make her pay." Her fury hit him like a blow. "Sarah, wait, what? Are you home? Chloe's phone isn't answering. You still say her name?" Sarah's voice roared with anger. "She's in an ambulance. The doctors say she could die any second. Liam, for your selfishness, you're endangering Chloe and your child. I don't even recognize you." Liam slammed on the brakes, heart hammering, almost hitting the guardrail. He gripped the wheel, knuckles white. No, impossible, he whispered, trembling. Sarah, you're lying? I'll be there soon. Just let me explain. The line erupted with shouts. Pregnant woman hemorrhaging. Clear the way. A dial tone replaced Sarah's voice. It couldn't be. Chloe had to be fine, still waiting for him at home. Hands shaking, Liam called his secretary. Get the most expensive jewelry, the best baby products, immediately. Fastest delivery. He slammed the phone down and pressed the accelerator, speeding toward home, panic and guilt coiling tightly around him. Liam's mind raced. He had to see Chloe, safe and alive in her own bed. Even if she shouted at him, even if she lashed out, it didn't matter. She had to be okay. A memory struck him suddenly. The day she married him. She had smiled and whispered, Liam, I don't regret marrying you. I know you'll protect me and stand by me, always. Now, recalling those words, his chest ached with guilt. Before the car had even fully stopped, he had flung open the door and sprinted into the mansion. Chloe, he called, voice cracking, echoing through the hall. No answer. Martha stumbled out of the bedroom, panic written across her face. He grabbed her by the collar, barely able to contain his fury. Where is Mrs. Miller? Martha's hands trembled, her voice quivering. Mrs. Miller, she went to the hospital. What happened to her? Tell me. Rage consumed him. He shoved Martha to the floor and burst into the bedroom. The sight froze him. Bloodstains scarred the bed and floor. The metal frame lay toppled, ropes scattered. Even thread, stained crimson, trailed across the floor. Liam sank to his knees, pressing his hands to his face, tears streaming. He couldn't imagine the pain Chloe had endured. Why hadn't she called him if she was in danger? Why hadn't David or Martha told him sooner? 1,000 questions swirled, but there was no time to dwell.
He had to see her now.
She and the baby had to be safe. I'll deal with all of you later, he roared, kicking Martha once more before racing out. Chloe, he thought frantically, you cannot be hurt. Not now, not ever. He staggered to the ER, spotting Sarah being supported, her gaze fixed on the glowing surgery sign. Liam grabbed her sleeve, voice raw. Sarah, what happened to Chloe? Is she alive? Sarah shoved his hand away, controlled fury in every syllable. Why are you not with your mistress? Are you here to check if the mother and baby are dead, to make room for that woman? I only told him to wait for me. I did not expect. Liam began, but she cut him off, incredulous. Wait for you. She laughed, a sound that made him more frantic. Is childbirth something you can postpone? She grabbed him hard. Dr. Miller gave drugs to delay the birth. Martha forced them. David had the doctor sedate her, saying she was unstable, all because you told them to wait. Your mistress called and gave orders. They hung Chloe upside down, tied ropes around her belly, and Martha sewed her lower body. They said it was your command, all to correct her. No, I never ordered those things, I swear. Liam's voice broke. He shook his head until his knees gave out. I only asked them to look after her, to wait. The surgeon rushed out, urgent and blunt. Family? The woman is bleeding badly, her lower tissues are torn. The baby's heartbeat is weak. We need a C-section now, sign here. Liam snatched the consent, scribbled with trembling hands, and demanded, use my blood. Do it now, save them. I lay in ICU, wrapped and wired to machines, the steady beeps keeping time. Liam knelt, holding my hand, his shoulders heaving. He stood abruptly, voice cold as ice. Bring every person who was at the house that day. Do not spare anyone. He wanted to know who had hurt me, and he meant to make them answer. Investigations pointed to Serena as the mastermind. The fragile woman he thought he protected had ordered cruel measures, and David had followed through. The realization stunned him. After pacing and one cigarette after another, Liam entered Serena's room. She offered a soft smile, feigning concern. How is Chloe? She asked, pretending innocence. Liam pushed her away, voice low and dangerous. Who instructed David to have Dr. Miller prescribe delays? Who told Martha to force Chloe to wait for my return? Serena's face tightened. I only told them to wait for you. Liam stepped forward, pressing her for the truth. You told them to wait until I came back. Is that what you said? Did you actually say, no matter what, wait for Liam? Serena bit her lip, tears spilling down her face. I was only worried Chloe would be afraid to be alone, so She rushed to Liam, clutching his hands desperately. I just wanted you to be with her, to comfort her. I was thinking about her, Liam. Thinking about her? Liam let out a cold, hollow laugh and shoved her away. When you ordered Martha to hang her upside down and tie ropes around her stomach, when you had them sew her shut, was that thinking of her too? You weren't helping her, Serena, you were trying to kill her. You wanted to destroy my child. His voice grew louder, trembling with rage as he stepped forward and grabbed her by the throat. I thought you were gentle, kind, someone who needed protection. I defended you, gave you everything, and ignored Chloe when she needed me most. And this is how you repay me. Serena's face turned red as she struggled to breathe. I didn't. Still denying it? Liam shoved her away. She hit the edge of the table and cried out in pain. You claimed this was a traditional method from your hometown to ensure an easy birth, he sneered.
Lies.
You did the same thing years ago. You chased after a wealthy man. Your lover's wife found you and did to you exactly what you just did to Chloe. She beat you, sewed you up, and your child died inside you. You repeated your own nightmare just to get revenge. You're sick, Serena. Serena collapsed, shaking her head, her voice hoarse. No, that's not true.
How do you even know that?
Liam's eyes darkened. There's nothing I can't find out. I was just blind before, but not anymore. His tone hardened, every word like a blade. You're nothing to me now. Every ounce of pain Chloe suffered, you'll pay back 1,000-fold. Serena crawled to him, grabbing his leg, sobbing. Please, Liam, for the sake of the time I saved your life, spare me. He glared down at her, lips curling. Saved me? You didn't save me, Serena. It was Chloe. He turned sharply toward the guards.
Take her.
Hang her upside down for 8 hours, tie her abdomen with thick rope, electrocute her for 2 more. Then sew her shut until her baby dies. No anesthetic, no doctor. After that, break her legs and dump her in the river. Serena screamed and lunged at him, but a guard restrained her easily. Liam Miller, you're the real monster, she shouted. All this time you pretended to be righteous, but everything started with you. You loved her, but you loved me once too. Why can't I take back what was mine? Liam didn't even look at her. He gestured for them to take her away. Her voice echoed down the hallway. My child is innocent. You'll pay for this, Liam. I'll curse you even from the grave. Her words faded as she was dragged away. The next day, a guard delivered a video of the punishment. Liam watched the recording without blinking. The corners of his lips curved into a cold smile. Then he turned and walked toward the ICU. He sat beside my bed, pressing my limp hand against his face. Chloe, I've avenged you, he whispered hoarsely. She'll never hurt you again. Please, wake up. I can't live without you. I'll love you twice as much from now on, just come back to me. Inside my motionless body, I screamed silently. I wanted to pull my hand away, to tell him to leave, but I couldn't move. Only tears, hot and furious, slid from the corners of my eyes. I don't know how much time passed before a cold voice murmured in my ear. Sorry, nothing personal. Someone paid me well. You shouldn't have crossed Serena. Don't worry, it won't hurt long. Just as despair swallowed me, a blood-curdling scream cut through the air. Warm liquid splashed across my face. My eyes flew open. My vision swam in chaos. Voices blurred together. Someone was shouting. Hurry. Get a doctor, now. Then I saw him. Liam collapsed beside my bed, his face twisted in agony, blood spilling through his fingers. Doctors rushed forward, pressing gauze against the wound as someone barked orders. Emergency cart. Prep for surgery. But Liam weakly pushed their hands away, his voice hoarse but determined. I'm not leaving. I'm staying right here. With Chloe. Gathering every ounce of strength left in me, I raised my trembling hand and slapped his shoulder. My voice came out in a whisper. Get out. I want my baby. Liam's head jerked up. His hair clung to his sweat-soaked forehead, his face ghostly pale. Then suddenly he smiled faintly. Chloe, you're awake. Thank God. Where's my baby? My voice barely rose above a breath, but each word was sharp as glass. His smile froze. His lips parted, but no sound came out. Tears mixed with the blood running down his chin as he shook his head helplessly. Rage and terror tore through me. I struggled upright, pointing a shaking finger at him. Tell me, is it true? He trembled, then gave the smallest nod, pain distorting his face. I'm sorry. Chloe, once you recover, we can have another child. I swear I'll do everything right this time. No. My incision burned like it was ripping apart. Agony clawed through my body. I yanked out the 4N monitors, glaring at him through a haze of pain and fury. It's all your fault. You killed my baby. He was yours too. He was innocent.
Get out.
I never want to see you again. Before I could say more, Liam's body convulsed. He coughed up blood, clutching his chest as the bleeding from his wound worsened. Mr. Miller, you need immediate surgery. If we delay, you'll die, the doctor shouted. But Liam only smiled weakly, blood staining his teeth. This is my punishment. I owe her this much, even if it costs my life. He lifted a trembling hand, reaching for my face. I turned away coldly. A second later, his arm fell limp, and he slumped over, unconscious. The room erupted with chaos, shouts, the clatter of equipment, the shrill sound of alarms. I closed my eyes, tears soaking the pillow beneath me. Memories rushed back like daggers. He once promised to love me and our child forever. But the moment Serena reappeared, he said she was pitiful and alone, that he only wanted to help her. Then he stopped coming home. Even when the doctor warned my pregnancy might be complicated and required special tests, he was by Serena's side instead. He sent her the finest tonics from her home, claiming we had too much. And when it came down to saving one life, he chose hers over our child's. Liam Miller killed our baby. I will never forgive him. The door burst open. Sarah stumbled in, tears streaming down her face, clutching my wedding ring, the one I'd thrown away. She grabbed my hand, her voice shaking. Chloe, Liam told me to give this back to you. He said if there's a next life, he'll never let you down. Her sobs grew louder. Please call him. Tell him to take the surgery. He'll listen to you. If we wait any longer, he'll die. I'm begging you just once for me. I opened my mouth to refuse, but before I could, a doctor's urgent voice echoed from the hall. Miss Miller, it's critical. Mr. Miller's heart has stopped. He's being resuscitated. We need your signature now. Sarah's cry cut through the air.
No.
No, Liam. She bolted toward the corridor, stumbling as she ran. I lay there, silent. A cold smile touched my lips. Good. This is good. I asked the nurse for my phone and sent one final message to my father. From this day on, dead or alive, I will never see him again.